Hey, cheers my mates! For those of you who watch the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse, there was one, you could say, very damning revelation that Kyle Rittenhouse aimed his rifle at Zeminski's. Well, we'll see if claims of the prosecution hold any water. So, without any further ado, let's jump straight into it, shall we?
Right, let's start the video. Pause. Mr. Rittenhouse, you just came into the screen, put the fire extinguisher down, and now you've got your weapon raised, don't you?
One thing that I absolutely need to tell you is that as Kyle comes into the frame, basically stops and he puts down the fire extinguisher, the drone rises at the same time. This is immensely important, please keep that in mind. So, let's establish a few things, yeah? First of all, Kyle Rittenhouse had two things on him that he had strapped. That was his medbag he carried on his left side and his rifle on his right side. As you can see in this picture, two straps, okay? Very important. Another thing is, we know for a fact that Kyle Rittenhouse was at just a few seconds before this drone footage picks, Kyle coming into the frame. Kyle was running with a fire extinguisher in his left arm, with his medbag flopping quite severely, as you can see, on his left side, flopping all around the place, and his rifle on his right side. The rifle is quite hard to see, but where else it would be, okay? This is a fact, it's undeniable. So, this is a screenshot of where Mr. Binger was. Hey, here you are clearly pointing your rifle to the right, to your right, to our left, and you are aiming your rifle at someone, implying Mr. and Miss Zeminski's. And I will now explain why that is simply impossible. So, let's use our trusty Microsoft Paint. This is our screenshot. By the way, those cursors, they are already there, courtesy of the prosecution. So, very important. I'll zoom in a bit. So, right away, what do you see? This is Kyle, and you could, for example, suspect that this is his right hand, and he has his rifle shouldered looking to the right. Well, that is absolutely impossible, and I'll tell you why. Because we can see here this lovely black line. That is his medpack strap. I know this is very hard to see, and I have a really good monitor, 30 inches gaming monitor, but right here, that is his medpack. Okay? And this, now with yellow, that's his right arm readjusting. He has his right hand on his left shoulder, most likely readjusting the rifle strap. Now, the rifle will be here. The rifle is black, and you don't see it because there is black car. And also, very important, Kyle at this moment has a cap. But you don't see anything, like any serious, like basically slanting. I will actually use it like this. The change in color, what you see, that's the shadow and different lighting, but not from the cap. And by the way, I'm just saying, also noticing, will I pay attention here? Do you see the darker spot right here? That's his hair going from the I don't know how the hole in the cap. I don't know how's that called. So Yeah, now I will explain why Kyle cannot be looking to the right. And that is because we don't see his rifle. The rifle is black. He has light clothing. He has he has he's white, he has light clothing, and we don't see basically the rifle. And that would be a big obstruction. I will show you in a second. Right here, there would be a massive obstruction. We could not see the strap. Now, I'll admit, now when I'm looking at it, there's a possibility that this is his right hand and this is his left hand, and he's holding the rifle and the muzzle is going this way. But I actually, no, now looking at it again, I don't think so, because I don't see the rifle covering the med pack. Again, I know this is very hard to see, but the med pack is right here. I don't see it being covered. I see a lovely line. I hope you have a really nice monitor. Here, it's undisturbed line of pixels. That is the med pack he's carrying around. Now, this thing here is just a reflection from the car. I will do you remember when I told you to remember that the drone was rising? It will come important in a bit. So let's first establish that Kyle's torso is facing us. I'll point out again the strap. You can see it clearly going from our left to our right. That is undeniable. So if Kyle would be sideways, as you can see here, we would not see like anything like that. We would see maybe an O shape, maybe. And if Kyle would have his back to us, we would see this. As you can see, the layout is completely different for a very good reason. And we would see two straps, not one. And why do we see only one strap? Well, if you didn't figure it out yet, I'll be explaining it right now. So, why we can see only one strap? Well, yeah, I needed to strap on a wee bit. It is because Kyle, I'll rise up for this, Kyle covers with his right arm. He had adjusted his left on the strap on his left shoulder. As you can see, the strap is hidden, but you can see the other one clear as day. That is why we see only one. Kyle literally could not have been pointing his rifle at the Zeminskis. But I bet you will still be asking, well, how do you explain the smudge to Kyle's right? The smudge is already here. It's a reflection from the car's body, and I do apologize for the worst quality. I don't have access, unfortunately, to the raw footage, and I hate it that the files are not posted, for example, online. I would love my hands on them. Anyway, the smudge is already there, and I will explain in a bit why I think that dumbbell of a Binger came to this conclusion that Kyle was lifting his firearm and aiming at Zeminskis. This is why I said keep in mind that the drone was getting up, because it was changing the point of view just as Kyle was getting there. It appeared that because the reflections changes, right? You have basically a triangle. You have a light source, the reflection, and the point of view. If you raise that up, it appears that something is moving right on the screen. And Binger came to the conclusion that is Kyle's hand, because it was just next to him. And he's a dumbbell because he does not adjust for all the variables. One of the variables changed, and that was the point of view. And this is scientific background comes in clutch again. Because I go in looking for what I see, not what supports my narrative. I'm like fucking Binger. What a dumbbell. Jesus Christ. But that is not all. How is it possible? I hope that it was just Binger. Because this video, also with the previous one where I already proven that Gage Grosskreutz was at the very best mistaken, is going to the US Department of Justice and also to the FBI via email. And why? Because if this was done by the forensic team of Kenosha PD or anyone else, they could have sent plenty of innocent people with their absolute incompetence to prison. And I think this should be then investigated. Okay, so just to recap, the most important part, that is the strap. You simply cannot explain it any other way than Kyle Rittenhouse was facing the camera and not to his right to the Zeminskis. That is simply not possible. Doesn't work. The other thing is, like, the smudge that is perceived as Kyle's hand is already there in the footage. I 100% understand the footage is pretty crappy, but it is still there. The pixels are right there. If someone has a better footage, I would really appreciate it, like the best, like you can. The source, if someone has contact on the offer, please, I beg of you, get me the original file, and I'll just go, I'll show you all. It is there, right there, for everyone to see. So this is absolutely critical evidence. Can it be as is submitted to the court? Hell no. But please help me to get it to the defense team so they know where to look and what to argue. Because I'm really good at this stuff. I really regret that I don't have a direct line of communication with the defense team. Yeah, and also with, that I don't have enough subscribers basically and enough viewers to really make real changes, because I show the truth and I'm really good at uncovering it. So if you want more of this type of content, please do subscribe. Please share this video. By the way, the main reason is not for me, for my subscription base and stuff like that. No, make others see, get the truth out there, because in the end, this is a young man's life we are talking about. And the dumbbell Binger is trying to put him behind bars for the rest of his life using lies. So, as always, I will see you in the next one, and until then, have a good one.